In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a slab mug. The first thing you're going to want to do is take some clay and wedge it up. Remember, if the clay is soft, this is going to take away some of the moisture. Next, go ahead and gather your materials. You're going to need 2 yardsticks, a rolling pin, and the fabric that goes underneath. You're also going to need a paper towel and this white tube. You can find these in the back in the wire baskets. Alright, so now that we have our materials, I'm going to take the clay that is wedged and I'm going to pound the clay with the palm of my hand until it's about 1 inch thick. Okay, now it's time to roll out. Roll out the clay a little bit at a time until it's this thickness of 1 ruler. As an additional tip, I would suggest having the template nearby so that you can trim off extra clay when it gets wider and longer. This will help in rolling out the clay and it'll just make it so that you don't need so much muscle. Okay, so now that the clay is the proper thickness, I'm going to go ahead and get the template and cut it out. This is going to be the exact size that we're going to need in order to make our cup. So now that you have that cut out, go ahead and wrap the cylinder, the tube, with 1 layer of paper towel. Please don't let it wrap around several times because it'll make it more difficult for you. Just wrap it around once, and then if you need to, go ahead and tear off any extra. I also like to take the paper towel and tuck it down into the tube, and this just makes it really clean, and so the paper towel isn't going to get in our way as we work. Okay, so put the seam down, then take the clay. I like to take my hand underneath the fabric and kind of push it up, and then gently try to roll up your clay. Okay, so now that the clay is all rolled up, we're going to score and slip the seam. I would suggest using a serrated rib for this. It makes it really clean and nice, and for this we don't need the scratches to be very deep. Okay, so now that we've scored and slipped that seam, I like to go ahead and tap it with a wooden stick. This just makes sure that it compresses it and really squishes that clay together. Do not worry about smoothing the seam out. We will do that when it's leather hard. So next we're going to go ahead and wedge and roll out a piece of clay for the bottom. Okay, so now that that piece of clay is the proper thickness, we're gonna go ahead and grab our cup and just gently pull out the tube just a little bit. I go ahead and use my hand and make it bigger and kind of push it out of the way. You can see it right here. Just kind of put your hand in, make your hand wider and wiggle it out. And then take that paper towel and tuck it in so it's out of the way. What this is gonna do is it will still support our cylinder, but we can trace it to get the proper size bottom. So like I just said, the next step is taking your needle tool and tracing along the bottom. Now we're going to score and slip this cylinder onto this slab. Once again, go ahead and use a serrated rib for this. Now that the cup is attached to that bottom, now we can go ahead and cut it out so that the bottom is the correct size. You don't have to go right up against the cup because we're going to remove all the extra clay and smooth it all out when it's leather hard. So just try to get as close as you can. So just like we did with the seam, you're going to take a wooden stick and go ahead and tap that bottom to compress the bottom to the cup. Okay, so now that the bottom's on, we can go ahead and take our cup, flip it onto a WARE board, okay? Then take your hand, put it inside the tube, make it bigger and slide out the tube. Then take out the paper towels. Okay, so there's your finished mug. The next step is waiting till it gets leather hard to smooth it out and make it look pretty. All right, hope you have fun.